What if the thing you call your discipline is actually your prison? The rules you're proud of following may not be making you stronger, but quietly be keeping your life from moving. The spiritual, or good, version of you is the version most likely keeping you trapped, and Neville Goddard had to learn that the hard way. At first, Neville wasn't casual about spirituality and being good. He didn't dabble. He committed. Vegetarian, no alcohol, no smoking, celibate, total control over appetite, habit, and desire. He believed this discipline was purity. He believed purity was power. He believed that the more he denied himself, the closer he was getting. But his manifestations were not working. Not really. Things didn't move naturally. Results felt delayed. Everything required effort. Instead of feeling like the operant power, Neville felt like someone waiting for permission. And that's when Neville Goddard's mentor Abdullah stepped in. Neville commented on Abdullah's food. Abdullah was eating a steak, drinking whiskey, completely relaxed. Neville said, "That would poison me." Abdullah replied, "You are right. It would poison you. Because you have quibbles." Neville thought they were talking about food. They weren't. And what Abdullah said next might be one of his most important lessons ever. Something wasn't adding up. Neville did everything right. But the more disciplined he became, the less his life moved. And then Abdullah delivered the first part of the teaching Neville never forgot.
You are so good, you are good for nothing.
Not as an insult, as a diagnosis. And it might be yours too. It means the thing you trusted might be what stopped you. Years later, Neville finally explained what Abdullah meant by that sentence. He said,
"If man places his faith in things other than himself, that in which his faith is placed will in time destroy him, at which time he will be as one imprisoned in confusion and despair. Man's chief delusion is his belief in causes outside himself."
The universe is not a courtroom judging your goodness. It is a workshop awaiting your command. Abdullah wasn't attacking Neville's morality. He was exposing that Neville had put his faith in behavior instead of imagination. Years later, Neville rediscovered Abdullah's words in old letters.
"This past Wednesday, I had occasion to go to an old Bible of mine, and there I found 2 letters of my friend, old Abdullah. I had long forgotten them, for they were given to me back in 1930 or 31. They are now molding and falling apart. They were simply instructions on the Kabbalah, and this is what he said in one of them. Creatures are never guilty of the seeming wrongs they do. The Lord ordained all deeds, and he alone performs all that is performed. He accuses no one of evil, for all have fulfilled his command and performed his service. If there is evil, I, the Lord alone, am evil."
Abdullah wasn't just talking about guilt. He was revealing the real cause behind everything. Your imagination. Not your discipline, not your diet, not your identity. And if imagination is the Lord, then nothing else creates. Only the state you occupy does. Diet, discipline, being good. These don't create results. They appear after a state is assumed. Never before.
The evil of which he speaks is turning from the only power in the world, which is your own wonderful human imagination, to anything outside. That's the only evil.
It wasn't about right or wrong. It was about what actually causes results. He believed behavior caused results, so imagination stopped creating. And the law only responds to imagination. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are being. Neville wanted freedom, abundance, movement, but he was being restrained, care, delay, self-denial. So the world reflected that, not as punishment, as obedience. Neville wasn't being poetic here. He was being literal.
Stop trying to change the world, since it is only the mirror. Man's attempt to change the world by force is as fruitless as breaking a mirror in the hope of changing his face. Leave the mirror and change your face. Leave the world alone and change your conception of yourself. The reflection then will be satisfactory.
When you wait for something outside you to do the work, nothing manifests. Waiting for the identity to work. Waiting for life to respond. Neville wasn't wrong. He wasn't immoral. He was inactive. So, Abdullah gave it a name. Not a criticism, a condition. A state that looks spiritual, but where nothing ever moves. Abdullah's finally revealed it all to Neville.
After you have proven this law, you will become normal, Neville. You will come out of that graveyard. You will come out of that dead past where you think you are being holy. For all you are really doing, you know. You are being so good. Neville, you are good for nothing.
The graveyard Abdullah mentioned is where desires go to disappear quietly, not with drama, with excuses. I shouldn't want that. That's not spiritual. I'll wait. I don't need much. Neville thought his strict life would make things move. That being good would earn results. But that's not the law. That's religion pretending to be power. The law responds to imagination, not behavior. So the longer Neville waited on discipline, the longer he stayed in the graveyard. And you can live in that graveyard for years, thinking you're being careful, thinking you're being wise, thinking you're being good, while nothing moves, because nothing is being assumed, only restrained. Neville believed his behavior was the cause of results, so imagination stopped being free. This is the turning point. Everything you've learned fails if you miss this. The world does not exist outside you, reacting to your behavior. The world exists inside you, reorganizing around who you are being. And the moment you believe something else is the cause, the moment you look to discipline, behavior, or identity for power, you step out of the driver's seat. You stop creating and start waiting. This is the final test, the one most people skip.
To possess the one thing of supreme value, you must sell everything else. Every belief in an external cause, every backup power, every just in case. So great is this pearl, so valuable, it takes everything that you own to buy it. You believe in astrology? You've got to sell it. You believe in numerology and teacup leaves and all these things? No matter what you believe in as a power to control you, you've got to sell it. It takes everything that you now believe in, whether it be even the things of diets. If you're a vegetarian and you think that's the way to God, if you're a meat eater and you think that's the way to God, if you think you can hold on to one little thing in case this doesn't work, you cannot buy the pearl. And so when I buy the pearl, I go all out and live by it. And there is no other being in this world, just this pearl, and I live by it. This pearl is your own wonderful human imagination.
He's talking about selling your inventory. What's in your inventory right now? Is it the belief that you need to check your horoscope to know what kind of day you'll have? That's in your inventory. Is it the perfect morning routine you think you must do? That's in your inventory. A rule you keep, just in case imagination isn't enough. That's what has to go. That's the shift. You stop being good, and you start being the cause. Good follows rules. Cause writes them. Good avoids blame. Cause assumes responsibility. Good waits. Cause moves. This is why this works. You can only assume from one of two states. State 1, the good identity. In this state, you believe behavior is the cause. If I live correctly, if I'm disciplined enough, if I do it right, then life will change. So you wait. You wait for effort to pay off. You wait for identity to work. You wait for permission.
Don't wait 4 months for anything. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and fall asleep in that assumption, for your assumption, though false, if sustained, will harden into fact.
Don't wait. Don't wait for your actions to earn the results. Waiting never manifests. It only produces more waiting. State 2. The I am identity. In this state, you know imagination is the cause. You don't behave to earn results. You assume the result first. You occupy the state now. You feel it now. You live from it now. And the world reorganizes to match. Because assumption is law. This was Neville's mistake. He didn't lack discipline. He misplaced cause. That's why Abdullah said, "You are so good, you are good for nothing." Answer this honestly and write it below. What belief are you still holding on to that hands your power to something outside you? Stop being good. Assume the state and let the world do what you created it to do. We're not done. Because what Abdullah taught Neville next was locked inside Hebrew letters, hidden inside an old Bible. Subscribe. The next video released will be on Abdullah's lost letters to Neville Goddard.
After you have proven this law, you will become normal. You will no longer seek signs. You will no longer ask permission. You will simply assume and allow life to rearrange itself accordingly. Man's chief delusion is his belief in causes outside himself. Nothing comes from without. All things come from within.